talk about your current employment status because you left Shamrock Rovers. The people are keen, they always are like, what's the latest for Ruesha?
I'm just waiting for maybe Barca or Madrid to pop in.
You have been to more clubs than Calvin Harris.
You can say what you want in terms of England this tournament. You could probably go as far to say they've been pretty poor, pretty honking, but guess what? They're getting the job done and they're in another final.
Michelle Adjumang coming on again, 96 and a half minutes into 97 minutes, plus obviously the 7 minutes injury time. For her to score then, it's like, are you all right?
Because she's 19.
So no,
she's 19 and she scored what? How many goals she's scored at this tournament already?
Some people are just, it's written in the stars. Good luck to her, she deserves it, but she's young, so let's not put too much pressure on her. But score the winner, if you could, Michelle.
I've actually probably seen Georgia more this past month than I have in the past 12 months. The name of our group chat, we've got a little one going for a few years now called the Babs, which is the brothers and boyfriends.
Nice.
Something I've actually probably not really experienced as quite like it really, and I just can't see him. The past couple of games, I can't see him losing.
The opposition, the Spaniards, it's the repeat of the World Cup final.
First Euro final for the Spanish. If I'm Chloe Kelly, I'd be raging. Do I think Serena should change it? I absolutely do. She gets her head up and she just looks at Berger and then she just smashes it. I'm thinking, best player in the world? Maybe she's meant it.
This is a healthy discussion.
This is good, yeah, but you think I'm coming at you?
Hi, how you doing? And welcome back to The Kickback. My name's Shebahn Aherne. We're joined by the evil, unemployed twin sister, Ruesha Littlejohn, on today's show. Coming up for you, England are through to the final of the Women's Euros, their third consecutive major tournament final. Wow, we're going to unpack that semi-final performance. Michelle Adjumang for Prime Minister, anyone? Plus, we'll hear from the brother of Georgia Stanway, John Paul Stanway, on the tournament experience so far. He's been following the girls as a fan, and what it's like watching his sister on her Euros journey. Stay tuned for all of that and much, much more on the way on The Kickback. Do you want to talk about your current employment status? Because you left Shamrock Rovers. The people are keen, they always are like, what's the latest for Ruesha?
Yeah, I don't know the latest for me. I'm kind of taking it a day at a time right now. All I know is I have, at the end of this week, I am away to Positano just for some more sunshine. And more like a mental break, this one is. And then we're going to do a bit of visualising there and just waiting for maybe Barca or Madrid to pop in.
Got you.
I don't know, I could be like a physio or something for them. So yeah, I don't actually know right now.
That's fascinating. The only thing is that we do know is that you have been to more clubs than Calvin Harris.
I've always said that I do enjoy meeting new people. I love doing an initiation at a new club. I find that more enjoyable than the games sometimes.
Right.
So it's good to get there and sing a song or perform.
Do you actually do an initiation every time?
Probably most clubs. I'll always get to a point where people want initiation. Some teams don't do it. There's some people that are really sensitive and do not want to do it. There's
what, embarrassment?
Like just pure, yeah, which I find really fascinating. I get people that I might get up and get a wee nervy giggle, but I'm like, I'm going to perform. I'm a performer. Do you know what I mean? Like, but each to their own. I don't judge anyone. If people aren't comfortable doing it, I'm like, that's fine.
But
I'll do it.
But does it give you a feeling of them instantly if they don't do the initiation? Are you a bit like wet wipe?
No, I don't judge. I'm actually, a lot of people, it really some people off.
That's it.
It really gets to some people. They're like, everyone should be doing it. Everyone should be doing it. But I'm just like, whatever. If people are going to get themselves that worked up, I'm just like, just let them be. Like, they're here to play football at the end of the day. They're not here to be a performing monkey. But sometimes I thrive on that.
Right. That's where you really shine, I suppose, when you arrive at the club. Initiation, you peak.
That's it. Peak and then it just goes.
And then you do your Achilles.
It goes downwards. It's a downward spiral.
Perfect. Well, if you are a GM of a club in the top flight, preferably, we will be taking your calls. If you are below champ, don't bother. We're not interested. She doesn't care.
And I feel like if everyone is that scared of people doing podcasts these days, behave yourself.
That's another stipulate. She has to manage her own load.
We can work together.
We can work together to manage the load, and she would preferably like to keep the podcast as well. So you have to be on board with that. But think of all the free publicity your club will get.
End of the career and stuff like that. You've got to help people. If I wanted to be a scientist, people would be like, that's great. Because I've got a bit of banter, people get their backs up. Do you know what I mean?
I was watching Niamh Fahey talking about being a scientist the other day.
She's a clever girl. She's a bright girl, our Niamh Fahey is.
Yeah.
I'm not quite on the brain level as her, a bit different. So that's why I have to talk nonsense in front of a camera.
And do initiations
Exactly.
as often as you can. Let's talk about the Lionesses. Here we are in another final. I mean, that win shouldn't have happened the way it happened over Italy, but it has happened. Another final awaits.
That's the thing. You can say what you want in terms of England this tournament. You could probably go as far to say they've been pretty poor, pretty honking. But guess what? They're getting the job done and they're in another final. So I think one thing you can take from that is fine. They're not playing well. They're not performing, but if you're talking about if this was in a league, you're doing what you have to do to win a league, and now they're doing what they have to do to win tournaments. So they've obviously got some kind of like absolute mental resilience, character, belief within their squad, where when they're playing poor and backs against the wall, they're somehow delivering and getting the job done. So credit to them. It's unbelievable.
It's incredible, and the last kind of 20 minutes of that game, it's like, are you for real? Like, I mean, I'm talking about the last. Michelle Adjumang coming on again, 96 and a half minutes into 97 minutes, plus obviously the 7 minutes injury time. For her to score then, it's like, are you all right?
I would argue, like, not even the last 20 minutes still. They were poor.
Yeah.
Like, they were poor. And you've got to give a good bit of credit to Tooney for the goal and Beth Mead. Beth Mead's run really kind of, I think, puts the goalkeeper off. And then Michelle's there and she's got another goal. Do you know what's a wee bit annoying? I'm finding her a wee bit annoying.
Why?
Because she's 19.
So know,
she's 19 and she's scored what? How many goals she's scored at this tournament already?
I know.
Just coming off the bench and just being a massive impact.
Some people it's written in the stars. Like, I felt we've had this conversation coming into this tournament. I'm like, this could be something for Michelle Adjumang, and you know, there's something about her. She's different. She's cut different. She's a different breed. But also, when Serena Wiegmann got her first game at Wembley as England manager, Michelle Adjumang was her ball girl. Was the ball girl?
No, she wasn't.
Some things just align. It's like Leah Williamson, the day that Arsenal won the Champions League in 2007, she was the ball girl. It's like some things just they're touched.
Don't get me, I would still say I don't want to put all this pressure on her because I still think she's got a long way to go in terms of like developing and really getting like up to that intensity level. Like when you look at Russo and the work that Russo does, she works tirelessly up front, and she covers a lot of ground, probably does a lot of running that you probably expect that she wouldn't need to do.
Yeah.
But she works and she's constantly pressing, putting the opposition under pressure, making it hard for the back line. And I think that's another bow that Michelle won't add to her game. But there's one thing that you can't knock, and it's her. People could say, well, she's not really, apart from her goals, but the thing is, she's in the right place at the right time and she's got the composure and she's putting them in the back of the net, and that's one of the hardest things to do in football. That's why centre forwards are hard to come by and goal scoring centre forwards. So it's exciting.
And what was nice actually about full time the other night when they'd gone through and everyone's singing Sweet J-Mang, whatever, I felt like she took that moment as if like arrived, like this is actually happening. Whereas in the other games, she's had that, get the ball, I'm celebrating, we're going again. We keep going. Whereas I think the other night she realised, maybe I'm absolutely made for this and I'm really good at this.
I think she's obviously, she's humble, but it's more the girls pushing her forward, going, take your moment, here you go. But if I remember rightly at the start of the tournament, there was a clip of Michelle and Leah Williamson doing an interview. And I think Leah was kind of like, whatever she said,
big up your chest, like be proud of yourself.
But I think that was Leah's like, you deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Like, we know that you deserve to be here without putting pressure on her. That's not you should be starting, you should be this, but you deserve to be part of the squad. And in time, you will probably become the centre forward for the Lionesses or whatever that looks like in a few years' time, whenever it may be. I get age is just a number, and if you're good enough, you're old enough. So, but it's good to see even the players. I think it was Alex Greenwood pushing her forward. The girls speaking to her after the last couple of matches, and they're just like, but obviously she's just young and humble and a bit like, she's probably still finding her way in the squad with some of these girls. She probably doesn't even speak to some of them. She's still a bit like, but I think this is just going to help her, and it's great for the Lionesses. It's great for her. And another thing is it's actually great to see a young black girl, because there's also been a lot of debate about that. over the last few years about, you know, how do we get more people of different ethnic background through, and here she is, so she's going to be inspiring a generation of young girls and boys.
I remember, was it on the eve of the European final in England a few years ago? I remember it was the front page and the back page of all the papers, and it was highlighted of the whiteness of the Lioness squad, and it's in such a multicultural country. It was staring you right in the face there at that point. Why was England not as diverse as it once used to be?
Yeah.
And we've had these conversations many times on the show. We've spoken to guests about, you know, the cost it can take for families to get there. You know, players having to drop out at a young age because their families can't afford to, you know, get them around or get them to training. You're right, Michelle Agyemang has just, not only did the Lionesses change things a few years ago, and they've been doing that for quite some time, but Michelle Agyemang has changed another group of young girls who might be looking and going, well, if I don't see me, I can't be me if I'm not represented. And, you know, there are other black players and players of colour, of course, in the squad. But Michelle, man, wow.
Everyone, I think for her right now, even right now, we've started this show and we've dived in very heavy on Michelle. But the thing is, there's going to be these worldwide, especially in the UK, of just companies and people wanting access to her, wanting a piece of her. Her life has literally changed after this tournament. And I get the Lionesses' lives did change after the Euros win. But for this young girl, it's like she is now.
It's funny. I don't know if I should say this, and I think it's fine. But Jamie, my husband, he's been aware of Michelle for a few years. He's been talking about Michelle Agyemang, hasn't he? And has kind of gotten to know her dad, and he's very much so clear that Michelle is protected and cared for by her family very, very closely. You know, it's her dad and her mum are very, very linked to her. They're very close to her. They're with her through all of the games, through all of the journey so far. Because she's only 19, you know, she's still very much so at home with them. But it's amazing how that will change for them. You know, they'll be having the agents on the phone, they'll be having the big brands. What's the next step for this group as a family, you know?
Yeah, but that's the way the game's going, and there was a time where that wouldn't have happened, and it's happening now, and it's great because she's now going to get to fulfil her dream of being a professional footballer and now get the rewards of it. And you've got people look back even 10 years ago that maybe didn't have access to the rewards of what you would have now. Like, she will be comfortable, she'll be happy, and what's nice to hear is that what you're saying about is like the strong family unit. She'll be guided now, so that's great. You see some people, and they maybe don't have that support network. She's got that, so that's going to be massive for her going forward.
She'll be focusing on her football. The teams now around, not your football team, the teams around these women now are different. You know, you have your teams, you have your publicity, you have your managers, you might have an assistant, you have those who work with brands, you have those who work with the clubs, you have the PRs at the clubs, you have your press, you know, all of these big teams around you. I can just imagine right now, Michelle probably sitting in her room after training, I don't know, maybe
playing with Barbies.
Playing with
Barbies, yeah.
Doing our Barbie's doll's house, catching up with, you know, Peter Rabbit, and she'll be so unaware of the noise outside.
The thing is, social media plays a big part in that now, and her socials will be pinging unless she's taking a back seat a little bit, but I think it's hard unless she's turned off a lot of notifications and stuff like that. You spoke to me about this not so long ago, early on in the tournament.
There's one thing I've been right about this whole time, it's Michelle Agyemang.
Yeah, but does this now mean that Arsenal have to go, you're back in, you're with us, you ain't going anywhere?
She's recalled.
That's it, like you are very much, they'll probably have to now guarantee her a lot more minutes. They'll have to somehow fit
her and
Russo and Michelle.
Is Stina
strikers.
gone? Is Stina gone?
I don't know. Like, without Stina, Arsenal aren't looking at a Champions League. But right now we do know that English players will probably take priority right now in the WSL.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting to see. Had she not, do you know what, if she's not come on and scored these goals, but obviously Serena's been like, I want you on the pitch. She's seen what she can do at training. She knows that she's capable of scoring goals. Mm-hmm. So she's like, you're on the pitch. Arsenal now have to probably go, you're back in the squad. And you look at Arsenal's previous, Lauren James, Chloe Kelly, who's now back at the club. Who else? There was another absolute star.
Who's recently come back?
Not recently come back, left, and Arsenal were probably kicking themselves going, But right now it's like, they can't afford to let her go.
Yeah.
She's young, she's good enough, she's got the support network, she's mature. They're going to need to have her part of their squad this season.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Brighton move was probably a good season to get her going in the WSL, get her used to the levels, get her used to the demand. Whereas I cannot see Arsenal letting her be anywhere else but under their roof.
It's impossible now.
Come September.
It's absolutely impossible. It won't happen now. She will be, whatever, there'll be room made way for her to be part of that squad.
Fascinating. Listen, you're right. We have now just spent a full 20 minutes talking about Michelle Agyemang. Good luck to her. She deserves it, but she's young, so let's not put too much pressure on her. But score the winner, if you could, Michelle, and bring it home.
You, honestly, your nanny would be turning in her grave right now. You need to have a long, hard look at yourself.
It's just this
You actually get to me a wee bit when you talk like that.
Is this what this energy is about?
It's not this energy.
Is it because of the Lionesses?
No, you've started your racketing and you think that you think I'm coming at you. You know, it's the racketing.
She came in for me today and she came for me.
I literally came. Do you want to talk on that subject right now? What we just spoke about? What you think I came at you for? You basically said...
Yeah, okay, I think...
You said Chloe Kelly will be starting and I went, well, no, she should have been starting already. I said after her last game, she should have been starting. 2 absolutely banging quality assists, bangs her penalty in. If I'm Chloe Kelly, I would have been furious I wasn't starting that last game. Yeah. And again, she comes on with a very positive influence on the team. So I'm like, I don't think Serena will change it. I don't think she will. If I'm Chloe Kelly, I'd be raging. Do I think Serena should change it? Absolutely do. Do I think Chloe Kelly should be starting right now? 100%. I don't think Serena's going to do it.
But the reason that conversation got to this point is because I had said that Serena has made changes because she dropped Jess Carter and started Esme Morgan. And you said, is it to do with what Jess Carter went through with the social media abuse? I don't think it was that. I think Serena has dropped Jess because she hadn't had a strong enough performance and she's put in Esme Morgan, whereas you were saying that you think maybe Serena's done it to take what might be the heat or the intensity that Jess is going through just now, you know, with the arseholes on social media, and maybe that's affecting her. You know, I think the conversation would have been, you know,
I get what you're saying, but I do think Serena's maybe protected her. I also look at Serena and I could go...
But you're not protecting a player by taking them away from that opportunity?
Yeah, I think they've had a conversation behind closed doors and it's maybe went like, look, this is what it's going to look like and this is maybe for you. She might be going performance-wise, oh, this isn't helping, so she might be going, I'm taking you out of the limelight a little bit. Do you know what I mean? She's not saying, you're thinking you're rotten.
Can we meet in the middle? I'm not saying Serena's going to say you're thinking you're rotten, but Jess had a poor game that day. Whether all this stuff was in the build-up to it.
My point on that is, in these games, so Serena goes, okay, you're left back the first game. Okay, wasn't happy with that. You're centre back. All right, you're back out to left back, or however she's doing it. And I'm going, but the way the Lionesses are playing, we all know Jess Carter's not lightning quick. She can move, she can shift, but she's not lightning quick. The opposition she's been playing are. I would argue that England's counter-press and stuff like that has not helped Jess, so protect your players, know your players. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, I could argue the whole team has not helped each other out, and maybe teams went, we're going to play down that side right now and try and utilise our pace. And they've exposed her, but I would argue her teammates have not helped her. Serena has not helped her with how they've been playing. Their counter-press has been shocking.
Okay.
They're not so good at smothering out, winning the balls and breaks and just starting attacks. They've not been doing that.
But this
and
is
I feel like that.
This is a healthy discussion.
This is good, yeah, but you think I'm coming at you? That's what you just said. You think I'm coming at you? We had a difference of opinion, that's it. And it's your racketing. That's just your racketing, yes.
It's racketing.
Racketing.
I've started acne treatment and apparently it drives you loco, so...
Here.
Don't at me your BS.
I was on the socials this morning before coming in. You'd tagged me in something and I hadn't accepted it. I still don't think I did, but I was reading the comments and somebody calls us lemon-faced sisters.
I know.
And then goes on to say acne-faced sisters. And I'm like, what's lemon-faced? And I was putting it into Google and I was like, what does that mean? A book came up and then it was something like not very bright or something like that. And I thought, well, fair enough.
I'm getting trolled AF right now, but I'm kind of enjoying it. And what's amazing about this tournament is, we were discussing earlier on, and you might have noticed this yourself, is the actual change in approach from so many different audiences, maybe an audience who weren't interested 3 years ago or wanted to just fight the fact that it was happening 3 years ago. Whereas now people are genuinely like, Here, the Lionesses, this tournament's been entertaining. You know, it has something different. We're just in a different time, and thank God for that.
Another thing on that,
the trolls live on.
There's actually people like yourself, Cass, like yourself, that are like, you would call yourself a Scottish woman with an Irish background.
Yeah.
Is how you would have been very more pro-Irish.
And very proud. Very proud.
Mm-hmm. There's people now from Scotland and Ireland that are all hanging out with the Lionesses, and I'm like, I'm a bit like, right, guys, that's great. We can be like, yeah, they're good at football, but there's people now, they're like falling in love with them
Because they've
they're
changed
seeing
everything.
No, I respect that, and I'm really happy that they've got that power and that presence and that platform, and they use it to good use. And I think we're going to see a lot more after this tournament, what they're pushing for.
Yeah.
But I find it mad that there's so many people now that are actually just, they're seeing them on social media. They're like stalking their socials. They're seeing them just on interviews, adverts. They're seeing them in shops. They're seeing them on brands everywhere, and they're like just infatuated by them. And I'm like, this is people from Ireland, people from Scotland, and I'm like, it's actually mental. But I'm like, do you know your history? Do you want to get the history books up? But no, it's actually great. It's great to see them using their platform. And
Absolutely, and like even like, you know, you've been a footballer all your life, right? But cousin Shannon, right? Has she ever been at one of your games?
no, sure.
Whereas she sat down and she's hooked by the Lionesses. She's on their Instagram. She's completely in there.
She knows who does what, who's got this sibling, who's married to this, who's
knows
whose partner
everything.
that is. Aye.
They are. They've not just changed women's football. They are changing people's thinking and women's thinking in sports completely everywhere. And for that, they've got me as well. I don't care. I'm in. I want the Lionesses to win.
If you could spend an afternoon brunch.
Oh God.
This is shocking that I'm even saying this, but this is just, but I think people like you and these other girls that are now tuning in that aren't actually football fans.
We're fangirls.
But you're just like fangirls on another level now. Who would you spend a brunch with? You can pick 3 players.
Lucy Bronze. Aji Mang. I mean, I crush on Russo a little bit, but I don't know if she'd enjoy my weirdness. So stick Chloe Kelly in there, maybe. Maybe we could have a little drinksy poo.
I think I'd rather go to the morgue. Be more banter there.
Right, okay.
You and all them like that. I'm like,
Oh, the good thing is that you wouldn't be invited. Okay, yeah, what did we say? This tournament has just been sweeping everybody up. By the way, the viewers are in from the last game against Italy, 10.2 million across the ITV platform. And somebody said that people don't care. Joining us now live from Switzerland, where he's following his sister's Euros journey, is John Paul Stanway. Hi, John Paul, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Which Lioness are you related to? Just kidding. How are you getting on?
Doing all right. A bit tired today after the last few days. It was a long trip to Geneva, a long bus straight back after the game because we're all based in Zurich. I'm not sure if everybody knows that, but
okay.
Yeah, so a bit tired today. It's definitely been a long, upwards of a month. So you know we're struggling through.
Honestly, I've been following your journey on social media. Yesterday, I got a bit jealous because you were out diving in and backflipping off things onto the lakes and stuff like that. It looks like everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, it is. It's nice that we're all in the same hotel together as a families. You know, I was a little bit hungover yesterday from the game. So the only way to cure a hangover really is to dive head first into some cold water, which we managed to gather some troops up to go and do down at the lake in Zurich.
I'm glad you're having a good time, and you've been on the journey from the beginning as well. How's Georgia getting on? How's camp going? How's the feeling amongst the women?
Yeah, it's good. We went out for some food last night. There was a few of us at a local Chinese restaurant, so it was nice. Just nice to chat to him. Nice to take the mind off the football a little bit and hopefully a bit of normality again. So yeah, no, everyone's pretty fine. Everyone's pretty good.
how important is that? Do you feel like you've been there as a family to support your sister? And just how much kind of time do you get together just to try and keep it normal and just keep everyone relaxed, even though you're at a major tournament?
It is. It's that kind of bring that calmness and normality to it all, I suppose. I've actually probably seen Georgia more this past month than I have in the past 12 months because she's based out in Munich. So it's been nice to connect. You know, at match day +1, we always have some sort of family meet up. We've had a bit of time in the evenings, so yeah, it's just about getting people together and having that calmness for everybody, and just calm it down, leveling it out again. Match day +1, and and then obviously you drive on again to next game.
So what's this? Sorry, I hear that you're quite into the high rocks training. Are you rallying the troops in for that? I think Shebahn here could do with a bit of training if you want to get her on board.
JP, man, I'm out of breath going up the stairs, so we need to start from the beginning there,
Yeah, we've had a couple of high rock sessions. We've been scouting Switzerland for a couple. Alex's boyfriend Jack, their agent Sam. I've got one booked this afternoon with Georgia Russo as well. Ash Hodgson, I think Shebahn, she was telling me about you before.
Yeah.
He's been on one with us as well. So yeah, we've been trying to keep the fitness up in the midst of everything else going on as well.
Do you know what I think, JP? I'm sorry, I've gone to calling you JP already, but when I look at the groups of you and Giorgio, for example, obviously, who's been spoken about loads over here at the minute because of Love Island and whatever like that, and then I look at like Chloe Kelly's hubby and whatever, and I'm like, remember when England men would go to a major tournament and then they would focus on the wags? You guys are now the male version of that, like inside the Sun newspaper. It's so weird. What's it like for you lot?
Well, firstly, I don't think you're getting with your sister. I'm going to put that out there.
I'll let you. The name of our group chat, we've got a little one going for a few years now called the Babs, which is the brothers and boyfriends.
Nice, like that. That's good.
We've kind of coined that phrase over the past few years, which we've now got a fair few of us in that group chat. We keep trying to add to it as we go.
That's cute. The brothers and boyfriends. John Paul, when Ruesha went to the World Cup a couple of years ago, she was well, she was going through stuff, so I decided to just go to her room each night and order wine. She wasn't allowed to have any, but I did put it on her bill. I think it's great that you lot are there and it looks fun and you're having a good time. And I mean, let's not forget about the entertainment you've had along the way as well. I mean, I don't know how you go through that. I feel what Ruesha feels when she's on the pitch. How do you feel what they feel when they've been on the edge of going out on numerous occasions?
It's something I've actually probably not really experienced as quite like it really, and it's funny because I've had this conversation with Doran, who you spoke to, George's agent, and we're asking about the game and how do you think they're going to get on, and I just can't see him. The past couple of games, I can't see him losing. They're just too relentless, and even when it is the last minute or the last second, and there's one chance, you still felt at 94 minutes that they still weren't going to go home, which is weird. Mm-hmm. It's a weird feeling to feel that 1-0 down, might not always be going for you, but it still didn't feel like we were ready to go home. And that's a credit to the team and everybody that's involved in that, really, that even though we are is a minute away from going home, and still doesn't feel like we're ready to do that yet.
Yeah, I think even watching the games here, like obviously watching the Lionesses for some time now, you know how good they can be. But even when they're not playing how you're used to seeing them play recently, they're still in that bit as a viewer, you're going, they're still in it. They're still in this game. And we were watching the game the other night and she's going, they're going home, it's over. And I'm like, it takes a second to score a goal and you just keep believing in them. But how would you see this as like your sister? Obviously you've known her and you've probably played football with her growing up. Has she always had that mental resilience? How do you look at her like that?
Yeah, she's probably one of the most mentally strong people I know. Growing up with 3 brothers that she's had to fight with for attention. She was the one who became the professional footballer to the heights that she's at. The way that she's moved and changed environments when she kind of felt that she needed to. And obviously the injury that was earlier in the year. It's a consistent mental battle, and that's what she's made for.
John Paul, can I ask you about what it's like being a man who's been an ally for women's football all through your life because of your sis? But over here, there was a conversation on the sports bar at talkSPORT about seeing Serena Wiegman move into the men's game. It's something now, what feels like this tournament, people are now more willing to have these conversations. Is that something that you ever think about, or are you just focused on the women's game growing for itself?
Yeah, I'm just focused on the women's game going for itself, really. Everybody can have those conversations. I'm not here to kind of create any headlines either. And at the end of the day, football's football. And if you like watching football, then you should enjoy watching football no matter who's playing. And that's what true football fans should really be like. Football's football. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't. But no, I don't really entertain those kind of conversations. I know where it's come from. I know how it's grown over the past 10, 15 years. To be part of it, to see it, it's the way it's gone is, it's incredible. And hopefully it just keeps going, really.
Fair play. Fair play. I mean, it's one of those things where there are men who have loved it for what it is, like yourself, and invested in it for why you're invested in it. But it is starting to catch on with a lot more men now who maybe weren't once interested. And that was interesting hearing Giorgio Russo saying that in the Love Island villa, there were so many of the guys just having conversations about it as well. It's becoming the norm.
Yeah, well, it's exactly that. And if you enjoy football, that's probably the headline, really. If you enjoy football, you enjoy football. Whether it's your under-8s kids playing, whether you're going to watch somebody at non-league and you're paying a £5, whether you're just rocking up at a Sunday league team, whether you're League 2, League 1, men's football, international football, women's football, football's football. And if you can enjoy it for what it is, then, that's all you need to do, really.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's there for absolutely everybody. Listen, talk to us about the next couple of days. How do you chill out, take your mind off things? How are the families all doing together?
Well, we're down into crunch time now, I suppose. The girls have been here a month. We've been here a month. Everyone's been flying in and out, so we're down to crunch time. I think we've seen all the ends of Zurich, and there's not much more for us left to see. But we've got a lot of people here at the minute. Hopefully, we've got some things planned. I'm actually doing a bit of workout here as well, which has been good. I'm able to work online, so that's been nice to break things up. Some fitness things, as you mentioned. We're trying to get some paddle tournaments organised again. Might try and drag everyone out for a night out before Sunday as well.
Is this what you want to do, John Paul? Do you want to do the influencing people in health and fitness? Is that the kind of line of work that you want to focus on?
No. I work in social media marketing for like kind of local businesses. So it's something I picked up a couple of years ago. I've done a lot of traveling myself and then grew a bit of a following online and then switched it to local businesses, which I've been helping them online for on social media and through their marketing for the past 2 or 3 years now. So that's generally what I do. The fitness is just something that keeps me mentally stable.
Who wins the High Rocks battle, you or Giorgio Russo?
I've probably, after the month I've had compared to the month he's had, I think it'll be Giorgio will be pipping me most today.
And one final thing.
He's only allowed 2 drinks. He's only allowed 2 drinks in Love Island. I've had way more than that.
I can imagine you'll need it after some of the things you've been watching. At the end of the Italy game, were the pizzas coincidental? We've seen all these pictures over here of the Lionesses after beating Italy, going through the stadium with pizzas. Was that?
Yeah, no, they get pizzas after every game.
Oh, they go.
It's not it wasn't a message to Italy. People can take it as well if they want, but no, they get pizzas pretty much after every game. They had one after Wales, and I'm not sure the Welsh should have been much known for the pizzas, so there was just no cameras on us at the time.
See, this is what the press do. This is what they do. They're like, oh, Lionesses eat pizza to rub it in the face of the Italians. Classic.
Well, to be fair, I don't think Georgia had any. We just had, I think we got busted on ITV for nicking it all over pizza.
John Paul, thank you so much for taking the time to come on today. Enjoy the next couple of days, supporting your sister. Enjoy it as a family. And just know that everyone here is rooting for the Lionesses. Keep going.
No, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. Hope it was okay for you all.
Very insightful. Thank you, John Paul. All the best, and we'll see you very soon. You should hire John Paul at work.
Do you know what? I was just ready to say, if you're looking for somebody rogue. That you really want to challenge yourself, with what I could come out with, you don't know. Well, so if you want to manage my socials, let's do it.
Mentally likes to challenge himself, so you would send anyone up the walls.
Challenge him.
Very much so. I mean, you do feel it as a sibling. Do you know what I mean? You feel it all as a sibling.
I think now the difference, like for them, is they've won a Euros, they've got to a World Cup final, they're now in another Euros final, and it's like so much pressure, and they'll be seeing everything on social media, they'll be seeing everything in the press, and even that is just a lot more pressure, and you've got that bit of people going like, they've been not good enough there. Do you know what I mean? But they're still in a final. So right now it's good to see them, like, good morale, they're keeping busy, families are there, and that's so important for the players. just having that wee bit of normality and that bit of time with their families just to relax and take their minds off, like, yes, we're in another final, but let's just keep enjoying it, take it a day at a time, and that'll just help hopefully put them at ease a little bit.
When we were in Australia, 2 summers ago, we camp was in Brisbane, and I was there for talkSPORT, and no offence to Yes, but the budget, right? The place that I was in, the fire alarm kept going off at 3 in the fucking morning. I was like, do me a favour, and then after the first leg back, you were like, well, why don't you come and stay with me for the night? Well, didn't I find myself right at home? It was like the nicest hotel in Brisbane.
Yeah, it was a beautiful hotel.
Stunning.
Yeah.
What's it
I can't
called
even remember the name. I can't remember the name, but it was one of those, and it had like in the morning you'd press your button and the curtains would open.
Yeah.
Not them curtains, like the blinds. Do you know what I mean?
Blinds would open. and then
and then it had
your mirror turned into the TV.
Yeah, it had that, and then it had like you could open up and see in the bathroom. You could press the other thing, and then it had this massive bathtub, like.
And I'd be in the bath like that.
Bath.
Hey!
She'd be actually walking about my room in the scud, taking herself from one side of the room round to the bath, phoning room service, getting wine up to the room.
So nice.
And but you know what? It was good. It was good fun, and I think at that time it was good to have you there for a bit of support.
Yeah. She was loco. You were on Rakuten then. She was a little bit crazy, you know. So it's nice that the players have their families around them out in Switzerland. Let's just talk briefly about the opposition, the Spaniards. It's the repeat of the World Cup in Español.
First Euro final for the Spanish. What I will say is,
how's that?
Watching the game last night, Spain were not popping how Spain can pop.
Agree.
They were not. I was like that. Pass the ball. They just kept going direct, kept going long. But they weren't even just doing the like close knit passes. The centre mids always go over like this distance and all that, popping it, just try to suck people in. Then they ping off them, and one pass move, triangles all over the gaff. They weren't doing it. They wanted to do it like for 1 minute after they scored. I was like, why have you not been doing this all game?
Yeah.
Anyway, bottom of my tea. Wow. I was like, did she mean it? Did she mean it? Yeah. And then there's a clip. There's like an angle, and I actually think she gets her head up and she just looks at Berger, and then she just smashes it. I'm thinking, best player in the world. Maybe she's meant it. Mm-hmm. Get her on the phone and ask her. Get her on the wall.
Yeah.
Get her
Atana.
Atana. She's not been returning my messages for a while now.
Has been back to you?
Has not. Is upset. Weeping. Sorry. But I was actually, do you know what? Actually gutted for the Germans. They put so much into it, and I was actually a wee bit disappointed. I'm going, just go to penalties. Go to penalties. But they done so well, and I think the Germans were a wee bit exhausted. A couple of games down to 10 players for a long majority of the game. But they'll be gutted, and Berger will be gutted because she's been outstanding.
So good.
To be done at that near post at that time in the game, and there's just a few factors to the goal where they'll be going, how's that happened? Yeah. But credit to the Germans. They've put the German team back on the map. They're a quality nation, but Spain are in the final. Spain, England, it's going to be a juicy one.
It's a repeat, baby. Part of our talkSPORT team out in Switzerland in Zurich today, Angelina Kelly joins us from the Lionesses Hotel to look ahead to the final against Spain. Angelina, brilliant to see you. Just looking quite cosy right now in the Lioness Hotel. Where is that on a level with like where Republic of Ireland stayed in Brisbane? Because that was like 5-star. Is this like a 6-star?
I think it could be a 6-star. You know, there's actually a red carpet as you arrive. And I mean, you've got bathrooms that have got different buttons for different light settings. It's very, very bougie. I'm feeling very much at home, I must say.
Before we focus then on the Lionesses, how come talkSPORT managed to whip out the biggest budget? I mean, when I went to Brisbane, Ange, I may as well have been going with my backpack. It was like I was travelling as a student. Honestly, and you guys, you're staying with Spain. You're staying in the Spain hotel. I'm so jelly.
I know, it was absolutely insane. We arrived back in Zurich yesterday, and there's actually like a giant, I don't know if it's like a cow or a bull at the entrance of the hotel, and the Spain players have signed it. So I don't think we can get that back to talkSPORT Towers, but that would have been pretty cool if I could have got that. But yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk was in a lift with Aitana Bonmati. I mean, does it get better than that?
No, that's pretty cool. What would you do, Ru, if you saw Aitana on the lift? Because Ruesha's obsessed with Aitana.
Yeah, I mean, she's star girl, isn't she? I don't know. I maybe got awkward. I might not have said anything. I just smiled.
Would you panic?
I don't want to pester her.
Right.
I don't want to come on too strong where she's like, security, get her out. So it would have just been a,
what if she went, Ruesha Littlejohn?
I said, look, Aitana, back off. I'm trying to go about my business today.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So,
Ange, what's the vibe then? Because there's a press conference happening right now. What's the vibe with the Lionesses?
Yeah, you know what? The vibe has been really, really good out here. I must say, when it comes to the fans, it's been brilliant. I was actually at the Germany-Spain game last night, and there were a lot of England fans, fans from all over, really. And when it comes to the England fans, I spoke to one who I think has probably travelled the furthest. An Australian girl who just loves the Lionesses, travelled all the way from Sydney. We actually came across a family, a Scottish woman who moved to the UK, who moved to England, and decided that she wanted to support the Lionesses because her wife is English. She's got a daughter who's English, and was sat with an England hat on, with a shirt on. They reckon they'd spent about £4,000 on this trip, and they said it's worth every penny. And speaking to people like Tash Dowie out here saying, you know, when I was playing for England, you wouldn't even think that fans would be doing that. So to see the growth is amazing. But within the team, it all seems really positive. I know that the players were invited to watch the game last night. It wasn't mandatory, but it was on, and a few players were watching it, and obviously, you know, spending time with their families, etc. So it all seems very chilled, the quiet, the calm before the storm of the final.
Okay. Has the news reached Switzerland and the camp yet that Serena Wiegmann is apparently going to get a damehood?
You know what? I'm sure that's a question that we'll be putting to them, but you know what? I'm here for it. I will say that in the press conference before the Italy game, she was asked about, you know, how she feels about Britain and the fans and everything, and she didn't swerve it in a negative way. But I don't know if Serena is somebody who has adopted Britain as her nation, so to put it. So I guess it would be up to her if she wanted it. But when it comes down to the football, if Gareth Southgate is Sir, then I think why shouldn't she get a damehood? It's completely warranted, and I hope she gets it, and I hope she completely relishes in it. I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah, she is the kind of person who absolutely deserves it. You know, she won a trophy for England. She's taken them to a World Cup final and potentially might win them another one. So,
but is that something that's not maybe more for people that were maybe born in the country where they might respect it more? So, if I was offered to be a MBE, I'd be like, I'm all right, thanks. Do you know what I mean? So Serena might be like, I'm here to be the manager of the Lionesses and I want to make them win trophies. But who knows, she might go, yeah, okay, I think it's an honour, and because of how I've loved the team and stuff like that, I will accept it. So it's probably, yeah, it's up to the person. Obviously, Gareth Southgate being English himself, it's a massive deal for him. So
just imagine she's just like, no thanks. Because you know the Dutch are like the most straight talking people. She'll be like, no, I say no, thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye. No.
That would be so good. And so awkward at the same time. Then they'd all be like, get her out! Get her out of our country! Would be on our back. Angelina, it was a good game last night, but this is a final that we've seen not too long ago. How do you feel as a Lioness fan going up against the Spanish? Because they've been tough to watch at time, the Lionesses, this campaign.
Yeah, I mean, they've not made it easy, have they? It's gone down to the wire. It's been multiple great escapes. I think after watching the game last night, I feel a little bit more confident just because, like you guys were saying, you know, some of the players were not on it. I mean, you've got someone like Bonmati. She is the star of the show and has proven that she can win you a game. But you looked at, you know, Claudia Pina being subbed off, Esther Gonzalez being subbed off, Mariana Caldente was giving the ball away quite a bit. So the fact that they weren't on their A game, and I was at the game with Adrian Durham and we were having a conversation about this, and you look at Spain and the group that they were in and the way that this tournament's gone for them. They've never really had a game like England's had where the pressure is really, really on, apart from last night. So maybe it's an intensity thing with Spain that they've not had to perform to the highest intensity. And maybe with that Germany game, they had to wake up a little bit, whereas England have had constant high intensity. It's been stressful, but maybe that could serve them well in the game. But I think somebody like Pina, the set pieces that she creates, you know, I'm thinking the defence have really got to have the game of their lives. But I think it will be interesting how England will approach this one, because will it be similar to the way that Arsenal approached the Barcelona game? And you look at somebody like Alessia Russo, who puts in such a shift for England, and she put in a shift at that Champions League final as well. And then they subbed her off for Blackstenius, who managed to get the goal. Could we see something like that maybe with someone like Michelle Adjeman? Will she have that kind of impact? And you would think that they're maybe looking at the way Arsenal won that Champions League final and taking inspiration, because you've got such a crossover of the players. So I think feeling a little bit more confident after watching that game, you know, talking as well, you know, at breakfast this morning, we were talking about Guijarro and how amazing she is, very much a kind of Busquets kind of image. It's going to be really difficult with that Spain midfield, and that's going to be a really key moment. I think she's going to be a really key player. I think sometimes with Bonmati and Patea, she is a little bit underrated at times, I would say, but I think she's going to be really important after watching her last night.
Okay, Ange, give us a prediction before we let you go.
Oh, predictions. You know what? I've got to be positive. How can I not be positive? So I'm going to say it's going to be 1-1. We're going into the 80th minute. Michelle's coming on and she's winning us the game in the dying minutes. Yeah. That's what, you know, in Michelle, you know, they say in Serena we trust, in Michelle we trust. And that's what I am hoping is going to happen.
Angelina Kelly, our reporter out in Switzerland. If I don't speak to you beforehand, have the best time. And good luck with it all. Enjoy the journey.
Thank you.
Take care, Angelina. Thank you. I said the exact same thing today. I see the matchup of what was Arsenal and Barcelona. I see this very Barca Spain side, this very Arsenal Lioness presence. And I see Michelle Adjeman winning it in the 80th odd minute for the Lionesses, and that'll be it.
What I see right now is two teams that are they both got to a final, so how can you actually say they're both not firing? But I think the two of them have had maybe a game each where they've scored over, 3-4 goals? And apart from that, they've been struggling to score goals. Both teams have been leaking chances against oppositions, but not being punished. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up against each other. Is it going to be goals in the game? Maybe not. Is there going to be a few chances? Yes. Therefore, I think it'll still go to extra time.
Yep.
And it could go to penalties.
Who wins?
I'm just going to go... I'm only going for this because Spain have the trophy cabinet to complete. So I'm going to go with Spain win on penalties.
Okay.
And that's all. I'm just going because they're going to complete the cabinet. That's it.
Fair enough. Ruesha, we will see you on Monday after we know the outcome of the game. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can let us know your thoughts in the comments. How do you see this final going between the Lionesses and the Spanish? A repeat of the World Cup final in 2023. Either way, however you're watching it, enjoy, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.